Hi and welcome to Senesi Yoga. I'm Tim and I'm here with my friend Stacy. She's going to be demonstrating the postures while I teach. Today's class is a special class brought to you by the Conscious Movement community. This is a shortened version of the full 1 hour class where you can find on there. If you'd like to sign up for the 1 hour classes to help to deepen your practice, then you can click the link in the profile below. So let's get started in child's pose. All right, so in your child's pose, have your big toes together. Take your knees just wide enough for your ribs to fit in between. And then let your hips start to release back onto your heels. Open up your hands evenly into the mat. Energize the stretch of the arms. Start to reach down into the hands, straighten your arms. And then feel your breath start to come into your back ribs. So feel the length of the inhalation. Feel the body start to expand, open up. And notice the quality of the exhalation. Smooth and steady. Then come up onto your hands and your knees. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Then as you exhale, start to round your back. Look back at your navel. And inhale, wheel your chest forward, tip your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Exhale to round your back, look back at your navel, open up your back body. Inhale, wheel your chest forward, tip your sit bones up. Do that one more time, flow steady with your breath. And then come into neutral. Hold here. Now reach down into your hands and lift through your wrists. Feel that your shoulders are turned on, your back muscles are turned on, so you're not just sinking into your hands. Then curl your toes under and lift your knees just an inch. So same thing. Stretch down into your knuckles and your fingerprints, but lift up out of your wrists. Feel that you're lifted, your shoulders are turned on, the back muscles are turned on. One of the most common complaints that I get, or questions that I get, is people getting aches in their wrists from practicing vinyasa. So that's one of the reasons. Just sinking into your hands will make the wrist start to ache. And over time, you can feel this exhausting to try to lift up out of the wrist like this. So set your knees back down for a moment. You'll build more strength. And if you can feel yourself not lifting out of the wrist, then I recommend just setting the knees down when we hold in plank. Okay, one more time. Curl your toes under. Lift your knees up just an inch, reach down into your hands, plug the arms up into the socket, and then one leg at a time, step back into plank pose. Good, root down in between your big toe mounds and second toe mounds, lift the inner thighs, and then slowly stretch back to downward dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Put a little bend in your knees and let your head drop. Uttanasana. Then inhale, make a flat back. Come up onto your fingertips, elongate through your spine. Exhale, fold deeper. Again, inhale, come up into a flat back position, lengthen. Then step your left leg back into a lunge. Come up onto your fingertips, start to stretch your back leg. And again, even here on your fingertips, feel that you're lifting, you're not just sinking into the hands. Then one arm at a time, stretch your arms back behind you. And start to reach your chest forward. At the same time, work your back leg like the plank leg. So reach in between the big toe mound, second toe mound, lift the inner thigh, lift up from your belly up to your heart. Then set your left hand down and twist, take your right arm up. So as you twist, hug your right outer hip back so that it feels like your sit bone is tracking with your right heel. Lengthen out through the midline and turn your back ribs down as you spin your front ribs up. Bring your right hand back down, Step back to down dog. Inhale into a plank position. Set your knees down. Pause, open your chest. Then shift forward and lower slowly to elbow height, keeping the spine long and the chest open. Lift straight back up. Stretch back to downward dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale again, flat back, elongate. Step your right leg back into a lunge. Come up onto your fingertips, start to reach your chest forward, get light on the hands. Then one arm at a time, stretch the arms back without letting your hips twist off to the side. Work your back leg like the plank leg. So root down between the big toe mound, second toe mound, lift the inner thigh, reach your heart forward, then set your right hand down and twist. Take your left arm up. So as you're twisting, there might be a tendency to lean forward or back. Instead, imagine I drew a line down the center of your mat and you're lengthening straight out along that line. Draw your left outer hip back into alignment, and then start to spin your back ribs down towards your right hand as you turn your front ribs up. Bring your hand down and step back into down dog. Inhale into plank pose. Now, even if you're already Radha Chaturanga, this is a great prep pose just to make sure that you have good alignment. Set your knees down for a moment. Feel your spine is long, like a stick up your spine. Then shift forward and lower slowly to elbow height. Keep the blades on the back, the chest open. Hold the length of your spine. Pause there. Then lift back up into a modified plank. And then stretch back into down dog. Okay, now let's see if we could do it with that much integrity and focus with straight legs. Inhale into plank pose. Now just be honest with yourself. If it looks better with knees down and you're not strong enough yet, that's okay. You'll build the strength. Shift forward and lower slowly. Hold the length of your spine. Keep your blades on your back. Pause there, elbow height. And then lift straight back up without doing the worm. Whole body, still like a plank. Downward facing dog. So if that was too challenging, if you lost the plank quality in the spine, your shoulders rounded, then just do it with knees down until you start to get stronger. Okay, that's my disclaimer for all that. Lie down onto your belly. Now I don't want to be hearing about achy wrists anymore after all that explanation. Slide your hands back underneath your elbows. Inhale into cobra. Yeah, that's the other thing. Chaturanga will really aggravate your wrist too if you sink into your shoulders when you do it instead of staying lifted. Then roll up into upward facing dog. Roll the front of the shoulder back towards the wall behind you. And as you press the tops of the feet down, spin your inner thighs up. Lengthen your buttocks out of your lower back. Stretch back to down dog. That was a good up dog. Nice job. Stretch back to down dog and take a breath or two. Then walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back, elongate your spine. Exhale, fold forward, let all the air out. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, raise your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. I think this is gonna be a first. We're gonna try doing an audible om on Tim Senesi Yoga today. Are you ready for this? So stand with your hands at your heart, with your eyes closed. So the om is 3 parts, O, A, So if you feel comfortable to, practice chanting with me. Take a breath in through your nose. Open your eyes, release your arms at your side. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen your spine. Step back one leg at a time into plank pose. Shift forward, lower slowly to chaturanga, knees down or not, your call. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Turn the shoulders back as you spin the inner thighs up, lengthen the buttocks down and stretch back to downward dog. Hold in your down dog. Reach into your hands again like you're gonna stand on your hands. Then turn your inner arms forward, turn the triceps down towards the floor. Lift from your hips, from your lap, up and away from your wrist, but keep plugging into your hands at the same time. Look between your hands, step or float up to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, elongate. Step back into plank pose, one leg at a time. Shift forward, lower slowly, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold in your down dog and reconnect to your breath. So there's effort to stretch in the pose, to elongate, to create more space, but not so much effort to where you feel you're creating more strain in your body. So just look for that steady balance in the pose. Bend your knees and look forward. Step or float up to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Step back and lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. From down dog, shift into plank and pull your right knee up to your chest. Wake up your core muscles, pull your knee up high. Then lift your leg up a little higher and step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Now keep your right hip on a track with your right heel. Set up your back foot for warrior one. So step the foot a little bit closer, turn the heel down, make sure your back toes are angled in a little more than halfway. As you hug your right hip back in again, come up into Vira one. Lift from your belly, raise your arms. Stretch your back leg long, reach through the back heel and lift tall through the sides of your waist. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Step back into plank pose. Hold in your plank with your chest open. Now bring your left knee up to your chest. Pull your belly up. Lift up. Lift up a little higher. And step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Then set up your back heel for warrior one. Hug your left hip into the midline. Lift your belly and come on up. Energize the reach through your back heel. Grow tall through the sides of your waist. Good, bring your hands back down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. And stretch back to downward dog. Sun Salutation B, look in between your hands. Step or float up to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees, sit your hips back, raise your arms up. Now feel the weight back into your heels. Make sure that your shins aren't sinking forward. Then sit your buttock back like you're sitting into a little chair, but lift up through all four sides of your waist, the front and the back sides. Then lengthen the armpits through the reach of the pinkies and come all the way up to stand. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees, sit your hips back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Look back at your feet and hide your inner heels behind you, but also hide your outer heels so your heels aren't turned in or out. Bend knees, look forward. Step or float up to the front. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, fold. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees, sit back. Press up to stand, Samastiti. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees, sit back, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Step or float back lightly, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold in your down dog. Then step your right foot for warrior one again. Inhale, raise your arms up. Open up to your side for warrior two. As you hold in warrior two, check out your back foot. Make sure that it's angled in just slightly like this. And then turn your right thigh all the way out. So if you look down at your right leg, the center of your ankle, the center of your knee, and the center of your hip are all tracking. Because the inner leg is tight, your knee will want to keep twisting in. Don't let it. Keep it pointing straight ahead and stretch from your inner legs towards their own inner knees. Magic block appeared. Now keep the stretch on your back leg. Don't give up that stretch on your back leg. Put your right hand down onto the outside of your foot and put your left hand onto your hip again. Not again, for the first time. Reconnect from your back hip to your back heel and lengthen through the sides of your waist like I picked you up and lifted you that way. Then take your left arm all the way over your ear. Try not to let your waist collapse over onto your thigh as you do. Good, make sure that your right leg is still pointing in the right direction, knee straight ahead, hip in, and then hold here for 5 breaths. Open up the soles of the feet, let the toes stretch, reach down through all 4 corners of your feet. Now lift your belly, come back up into warrior two. Reverse warrior, flip your right palm and inhale. Circle your hands back to the mat and step back to down dog or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach your arms up. Open up to your side, warrior two. Make sure your back foot's turned in just a little. Turn your left thigh all the way out so that your knee is pointing straight ahead. Center hip, center knee, center ankle. Grow tall through your spine, energize your arms. Now see if you can let your left thigh drop just a little bit deeper. Good. Then without this knee twisting in, place your hand down onto the outside of your foot, blocker floor. Put your right hand on your hip. Reconnect from your right hip into your back heel elongate through the sides of your waist, and take your right arm all the way over your ear without your waist shrinking. Keep lengthening the sides of the waist, through the reach of the arm and through the reach of your back leg heel. Hold for 5 more breaths. Then press down into your feet, lift from your belly and come back up into Warrior Two. Reverse Warrior, flip your palm and inhale. Bring your hands back to the mat, step back to Down Dog, or take a Vinyasa. Step your right foot for Warrior Two. Come right up into Warrior Two this time. Skip the Warrior One. Then place your right hand onto the inside of your foot. Take your left arm up to the ceiling. Wrap your left arm behind your back. And with your hand, now you can feel where your outer hip is in space. You don't have to look down. So feel your hip align with your center ankle. Center hip, center ankle, turn the knee so it's in the line too. Keep that as you start to straighten your right leg halfway. Don't let the hip swing out behind you. Now see if you can straighten the leg all the way. Keep reaching down into the foot, plug the thigh up, and feel that your hip is still on a track with your ankle. Lengthen your waist again. Pretty good. Now bend your right knee, keeping it on its track. Scoot your back foot a foot closer and slide your right hand a foot in front of your pinky toe, float up. Keep the hip on its track. Then elongate through your waist, turn your chest and take your left arm up. Good job. Reach through your heel. Bend your right knee and as smooth as you can, slide back into triangle pose. Bend your right knee, lift from your belly and come back up into Warrior Two. Bring your hands back to the mat, step back to Down Dog or take a Vinyasa. Step your left foot, Warrior Two. Come right into Warrior Two this time. Modified side angle. Place your hand down onto the inside of your foot. Right arm goes up. Then wrap your arm behind your back. Take a half bind. Once you get into the half bind, roll your shoulder back, open up your chest. Feel that the hip is on a track with its ankle. Then start to straighten your leg halfway. Don't let your upper body round over. Stay long through the midline. And then start to straighten all the way, still holding your length. You could feel the longer the hamstring stretches, the more it wants to round you over. Don't let that happen. Then bend your knee again, keeping the hip on its track. Scoot your back foot a foot closer and slide your left hand a foot in front. Float up, smooth as you could. Nice. Press through your right heel like it's against a wall. Lengthen through your waist and turn your ribs in your chest and take your right arm up. Complete the pose. Hold steady in your half moon. Feel your left foot is even on the floor. Bend your left knee and glide back into triangle pose. Good, then come back into Warrior Two. Straighten your left leg, turn your toes in so your feet are parallel. Clasp your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders back and open up your chest. Then start to fold forward in between your legs. So just feel that the legs will try to avoid the stretch either by locking the knees or sending the hips back in space. So put just a little bend in your knees and open up through your feet evenly into the floor. Then start to plug your thigh bones up like you're lifting straight up over your heels. Feel the hips glide up over the heels, but keep opening the feet. Don't let the feet shrink. Then set your fingertips down onto your mat and inhale, elongate your spine, make a flat back. Exhale, walk your hands back and let your head drop. As you hold here, reach down through your index finger knuckle, turn your elbows to point straight back, and then lift your shoulder blades away from your ears as you let the back of the head drop. All right, then inhale, make a flat back, lengthen your spine. Bring your hands to your hips and come all the way up to stand. Turn your left foot out, step up to the front of your mat, and stand in mountain pose. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Squat down for crow pose. Practice balancing on your arms for 5 breaths, or you can just practice your squat. So to go in a crow, you'll squat down, the knees go on the outsides of the arms, put the hands down, and then keeping your shoulder blades on your back and lifting away from your wrist, you'll lift from your bandhas. Pelvic floor pulls up, belly pulls up, and you'll lift up over your hands and try to straighten your arms. Good, then hold here for 5 minutes. No, just 5 breaths. Hold, pull up, reach into the knuckles evenly. Good, then set your feet back down and step back to down dog. Inhale into plank pose. Shoulders right over your hands, open your chest. Exhale, dog pose, stretch back. Bring your feet together and roll to the outside edge of your left foot. Take your right arm up, Vashisthasana side plank. So again, this is one where the wrist is at a lot of risk. Wrist risk. So if you need to set your knee down to help to build strength in your upper body, that's fine. Once your upper body gets stronger, the wrist won't take the burden of it. Remember, yoga is all about non-violence. First concept in yoga that's recommended is ahimsa, which means non-violence. Downward dog, stretch back. So it takes time to build strength. You wouldn't try to run a marathon your first day running. Roll onto the outside edge of your right foot. The strength and endurance will come if you just keep coming back to your mat every day, which I hope, are you practicing every day with us? I hope you are. It's really important. Good, then stretch back to downward facing dog, nice and steady. Now let's get into the core because I know you've been waiting for this part. Look in between your hands and jump through to seated. Dun, 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 the core. Sit in Dandasana. So of core poses, this is an important pose to me because we all should be able to sit up straight with the legs stretched out in front of us, but on the sit bones. The tendency is for the butt to tuck, pretend like you have bad posture, and when the butt tucks, the whole spine rounds like this. So we want to be able to sit with the legs stretched out, with the pelvis upright, just like that. So we'll just practice that, 5 breaths. Stretch your legs, grow your spine tall. Imagine like you're a marionette, a puppet on a string being pulled up through the crown of your head. Now keep that feeling and then start to lean back until you find your tailbone. So it's almost like 30, 45 degrees. I forgot my protractor, so I'm not sure. Pull, once you find your tailbone, balance in between your tailbone and your sit bones. Then pull from your belly up and start to slide your heels towards you from the grip of your belly. Can you do both at the same time? And then lift the feet up from the grip of your belly. It's a lot harder going into it this way. Then from the grip of your belly, take your arms forward. This is a common theme here. We're using the grip of the belly. Root down, tailbone, sit bones. Pull belly up, strong in your middle. Now maybe you can start to lift your feet up without sinking back. Depends on how flexible the hammies are. Good, now bend your knees, lower onto your lower back. Hold there in a crunch position, and then stretch your left leg forward. Oh, but pull the low abs back in. Where's that low ab going? Jeez. Change legs. I'm taking applications now for a new yoga model. No, I'm just kidding. It's just, you're good. Keep the belly pulled in, crunch up one more inch. Now lift the extended leg up halfway and stretch your other leg out to meet it. Ooh, now it's really gonna, come on, squeeze those abs. Squeeze them tight. Come up one more inch. Hold there. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then come back up in a boat. Oh! Put your feet down. Put your hands a foot behind you. Spin your shoulder heads back and open up your chest. And then lift your hips up. Keep your knees pointing straight ahead. Stretch from the fronts of the thighs down into the knees, and then lift from the front of the pelvis up into the chest. Roll the shoulders, open the chest, lift your tailbone up. This is such a nice back bend. Okay, then slowly lower yourself back down. Lie down onto your back. Bring your heels close to your buttock, feet hip distance, and then lift your hips up. Come into bridge pose. So in bridge, today I want you to grab the sides of your sticky mat and then roll turn your biceps out. Your biceps are right here. Turn them out, and as they turn out, you'll feel the chest start to open. Inner arm to outer arm. Press through your feet and lift up through your tail. Keep the knees pointing straight ahead. Good, then lower your hips back down. Open up your arms out to the side. Cross your right knee over your left knee. Shift your hips over to the right a little and let your knees fall over to the left. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Spinal twist. Get in there, get a free chiropractic adjustment for this one. Save yourself $75 a week or whatever that guy's charging you. Then bring your knees and your hips back to center. Change the cross of your legs. Shift your hips over to the left a little bit and let your knees fall over to the right, nice and slow. So while you're hanging out in this twist, I just want to remind you that throughout the year, I'm often teaching workshops and retreats. We have coming up a retreat in Todos Santos in Baja, Mexico, and that's going to be at the end of November. If you want some more information, go to my website, timsenesiyoga.com, and you can find out there under the retreats tab. Shameless plug while you're twisting. Bring your knees and your hips back to center. Then hug your knees into your chest. And take happy baby, reach onto the insides of your knees, grab a hold of the outsides of your feet. So just let your lower back start to open, your shoulders relax. We're getting ready to just mellow out now. Then set your feet down onto the floor, stretch your legs out for Shavasana, corpse pose. So just start to relax here. Let go. Imagine you could just give up everything completely. So you might think it's kind of morbid to think about death regularly. But meditation on death can be one of the most powerful mindfulness meditations because it transforms us and encourages us to think differently about the time that we have. So when we practice Shavasana, Shavasana is corpse pose, it's death pose or dying. As you practice Shavasana, practice loosening the hold that any material things have on you, your identification with who you are in this lifetime, the things that you own, or rather the things that own you, your job, your house, your car, whatever. Just let go of that. The more that we cling to things like this, then the more that we suffer. Now, this doesn't mean that you walk around being completely detached from people, not caring about anything. But no, actually you have a deeper sense of connection when you can let go or loosen the hold like this. So just practice that, let go, and watch your breath. And just feel in your body the energetic response to the breath. The sensation as the breath moves in and as the breath moves out. Then gently bend your knees. Slowly start to come back. And roll over to your right side. Press yourself up to seated. Bring your palms together. Sit up tall and just notice the shift that comes at the end of your practice while you keep coming back to your mat each day. How you feel calm, yet energized, balanced, focused. Like there's a weight off your shoulders, you might be able to sense that. Then bow your head towards your heart. Lift your head and open your eyes. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right, thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Thanks, Stacy, for coming out. If you enjoyed the class, please hit the like button. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you didn't like. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate your support. That helps to keep the channel going if you subscribe to it. Also, another great way to help to support the channel, for 15 bucks a month, you can sign up for the Conscious Movement community, which is just my monthly subscription service where you get hour-long videos. You get access to special workshops and training sessions that I do, and it's less than the cost of a class to take here in California. So it's just once a month, and it helps to keep the channel going. So really appreciate your support. If you can do that, click the link below. It's timsenesiyoga.com/consciousmovement. All right, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time here.